And welcome back here, as we just had a very lovely rendition of the national anthem. And here we see the players line up as we have a moment of prayer.
Representative from La Fortune.
Thanks a lot for joining us as we continue bringing you cricket from all over Trinidad and Tobago. We are at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy at this point in time for the Southern Sports Finals. It's the first of 3 finals that will take place over the next month or so. And this first one, Fortuné, they are coming up against Woodland, is it?
It's Rochard Road from
Rochard
Penal.
Road.
Yes.
I was way off there. Let me say a very good evening to Bahadur Singh, a man who has seen a lot of community cricket, former national youth player as well. And I noticed when I was walking in that the car park was almost filled to capacity.
Yes, indeed. In fact, from the earlier game when they had the 3rd and 4th place playoff, the car park was already filled. And then even now with the finals on the lights, I mean, there's no place for anyone to get room. So we encourage everyone to come on down. And, you know, I'm sure you can still get a park alongside the Brian Lara entrance and come to see this very exciting game of cricket.
Well, as you can see there, the players are lining up and meeting some of the officials. The president of the Trinidad and Tobago Cricket Board, Azim Bassarat, is there. And then the guy with the camera is the chairman of the Southern Sports League, Krishna Bidesi. So, Bassarat, of course, recently appointed vice president of Cricket West Indies, so he's lending that sort of importance to this encounter by being here, Keshav.
And it's very good to see his presence here. In fact, I think almost all of the cricket recently, whether it be the zonal level, the youth cricket level, the village cricket level, and even the premiership, he has made an effort to attend and show his presence and support to all cricket in Trinidad and Tobago. So congrats again to him on that recent.
Hats off to the president, very hardworking guy. And he lives very far from here, and he of course hails from the southeastern part of Trinidad and Tobago, and it's good to see that he's making the time to come and lend support, because this is where some of the cricketers of the future will come from. I'm looking on the right hand side of our screen and I'm seeing a youngster. I don't think he's playing, he's probably the team's mascot. But it's guys like him who are the future of Trinidad and Tobago's cricket.
Yeah, of course. And a lot of these players, in fact, have their kids and their nephews. A lot of young cricketers either in the stands or on the field supporting us, even to the right of our screen. Not in the camera's view at this point in time, but there are a couple of kids just playing some wind ball and enjoying themselves in this atmosphere. So in this modern era where we know technology is something that, keeps kids inside, it's really good and refreshing to see them outside here enjoying the game with their family and their friends. So we're definitely looking forward to an exciting game. La Fortune won the toss and they elected to bat first. Just to give you an idea of their lineup, Javed Mohammed, captain of La Fortune, Vishal Ganesh, Alvin Ram Logan, Jamal Mohammed, Suresh Bal, Aaron Ramkisoon, Peter Grimes, Ronnie Sujatan, Neil Ali, Ahmed Diosaran, and Ruel Ramdani. So those players would certainly be looking to put a big score on the cards. As we know, this pitch and outfield at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy are amongst the finest in Trinidad and Tobago when it comes to scoring runs, and especially in this T20 version where it's looked to be more attacking and aggressive up front in this stage. Also to take you through the lineup of Rochard Road, we have Azruddin Mohammed, notably the brother of Jason Mohammed, Vashish Ramlakan, their captain, Keegan Jagasa, Randy Silal, Dwayne Mohammed, Bab Rampasad, James Duncan, Visham Ramrup, Rakesh Jagmohan, Narendra Bihari, and Arvin Bisundath. So those Rochard Road players from Penal would certainly be looking to restrict La Fortune when they go out to bat and ensure that they keep them, I would say, probably under 200, given that the 3rd and place playoff had a score of 197 and was almost chased down successfully.
Yeah, scores around that mark could be difficult to negotiate, especially under the lights here. Although the lights at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy, they're pretty good. But you can never tell. Scoreboard pressure is another thing that you have to take into consideration. I think you have the teams there. Kesh, you may just want to go through the teams before the start.
Sure. So we know that from the players just called, Javed Mohammed was in fact a former national and West Indies youth cricketer. Javed represented Trinidad and Tobago from the under 13 to the under 19 level, and in fact captained them at one of those stages, and was also selected for all of the West Indies youth levels. He in fact played football as well for Trinidad and Tobago at the national under 17 level, and represented Naparima College in all of those disciplines. So Javed certainly will be looking to show his ability here, given that he has a very huge and popular reputation for in South Trinidad. And we see here a presentation with one of the bats that they are presenting. A very lovely piece of willow there.
Yeah, it's an SG bat. So a lot of giveaways here before the finals. Of course, this Southern Sports Premier League, and they've always been known to give away a lot of gifts, and they're continuing in that vein at the moment. So La Fortune will be taking the strike as the president of the Trinidad Cricket Board, as ambassador, just giving some remarks. Let's hear what he has to say.
To this big game this evening, I would also like to congratulate for the sake of both teams for reaching the final of this tournament. To reach the final of any tournament is a huge achievement, and I know for both teams to reach, you would have played some exceptional cricket league. So I want to take the opportunity to wish both teams all the best, and of course, for me to see some good cricket tonight. And I want to wish both teams to play in the true spirit of the game. And at the end of the game, they will be true winners in cricket. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Bassarat.
And some very warm greetings there from President Bassarat, certainly showing his encouragement and support. And here we see Amral Prasad also giving some greetings as we take a look at the pitch there.
It's very green, yeah?
What a lovely surface, I must admit.
If you're a bowler.
Of course. And speaking of bowlers, I must make mention of congratulations to young Liam Mamchan from South being selected to the national under-19 team, as well as his fellow compatriots Fariz Ali. It's definitely great to see these young fast bowlers reaching to that national level, and I mean they have certainly performed excellent over the season for both their school as well as their zone. So it's very good to see these surfaces in South and this cricket being encouraged in this part of this country. We see some greetings being brought here as well from members of 103.1 FM, the main title sponsor of the Southern Sports Cricket League, and we can see the very coveted check of $20,000 for the first prize, which is up for grabs here. And I mean that certainly would go a long way to either one of these clubs in their future development, in their youth programs, and to just ensure continuity as they want to play at this high level going forward. So I'm sure as we can see the players here, definitely very eager to get on the pitch and waiting for this presentation aspect to be finished very shortly, as I welcome next to me the very esteemed Mr. Vidya Ramphal in the commentary booth. And I must say it's a pleasure of mine and indeed a privilege to be in your company, Vidya.
Thank you very much, and great to be here always at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy, and especially here for this particular final, the Southern Sports T20 final. And this promises to be quite an exciting encounter between La Fortune and they are coming up against Rochard Road. So $40,000 will be paid out tonight, I'm told. That's quite a tidy sum, and certainly we'd hope to join up with the teams after that. It's going to be an interesting match indeed. And this is a match in which you're not going to see the big stars of the Trinidad and Tobago cricket scene here. These are the stars of their communities who are here, and it's a very important and a very significant tournament in the sense that there's been a vacuum outside of the Trinidad and Tobago Cricket Board tournaments, which have been able to pull a large part of the talent from South and Central Trinidad. There are many other players who have been able to find their way into the setup of national teams through tournaments like this in the past. And I mean, you you've gone a fair distance in cricket yourself. I mean, I'm misrepresenting it, of course. You've gone along and you would know the value of tournaments like these.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, these tournaments are very critical to the community aspect, and the community is where you start the foundation for these cricketers to grow and to reach to that national and then regional and international levels. I mean, even in this tournament so far, we've had the likes of Nicholas Sukhjosing, even Evan Lewis played a magnificent innings in one of the games, and to see those players still mix and mingle with the community level, it speaks volumes. I mean, even the car park outside and the fans we can see in the stadium are a testament to how popular and how valuable this cricket is.
It certainly is. I mean, community tournaments like these certainly are the cradle of the next generation of youth players, and certainly the midwife of the next generation of club champions. Certainly these clubs that we're seeing here today, La Fortune and Rochard Road, they're not among the giants of Trinidad and Tobago clubs, but they can rise up to that, because the higher they go, the more cricket they play, the better players they attract, and they can also generate the level, improve the level of cricket in their regions. You could tell that these clubs will go on and perhaps raise to become some of the best in South and Central Trinidad.
Of course, and even from some of the players we can see in the lineup, as we mentioned earlier, the likes of Javed Mohammed, as well as players such as Avan Bisundath, Azruddin Mohammed, the brother of Jason Mohammed notably, and a lot of players with experience in this level, Visham Ramrup, Peter Grimes, who has been scoring a lot of runs for La Fortune recently. He actually came off 84 not out in the last game and 71 previously, so he'll be looking to get a big total on the board here. And I mean, these players are certainly competing at a very high level, even though, as you rightfully said, it may not be the highest level in Trinidad and Tobago cricket. By no means take anything away from the quality of cricket we're going to see on display here very shortly, because everyone is here with a purpose and a passion to play the game.
It certainly is. This is their World Cup finals, isn't it, here in this tournament. It is the Southern Sports Premier League, and just to focus on the league itself, as we see the La Fortune team, they are from the Laromaine area. In fact, it's just straddling. It's a community that straddles between Laromaine and Woodland. Yes, if you've never been in this part of the country, you may not know that there was a community in between Woodland and Laromaine. Yes, it is, and there they are. These are the representatives of that community, La Fortune. And as Keshav has already told you, they produce some fine cricketers and footballers, especially Javed Mohammed, who is a huge star with Naparima College, and you were at Naparima College when he was there, so you can tell us a little bit more about that.
Of course. In fact, when I entered Naparima College in Form 1, Javed was in or around, I would say, lower to upper 6, and I was privileged enough to see the last few stages of his cricket and football career for Naps, where they won the treble in the football. And I mean, his cricket and prowess was so good that he scored the last 100 in Naps for about 6 years, until about Nicholas Puran came in and scored 100 in the championship level for Naparima College.
And of course he did.
Of course. And even that was magnificent. I mean, he came, he played for one season, and then after that he got selected to the national team, and then his career just spiraled. But to see these players pass through South Trinidad and play cricket at the highest level, and Javed playing football as well, is no easy task. So certainly he will be looking to show some of his younger days as he wants to put on a big performance here for his team.
Sure he does. Now we're seeing the Rochard Road team, and Rochard Road La Fortune have come with their full complement of players, but Rochard Road are in a little bit of a problem here because they have 10 players who are here. The 11th player, they're saying, may not play, and they have somebody lined up, but he also can only field, so they could possibly be playing with only 10 players.
Yes, it's a very interesting setup. I think one of the players who is not here as yet, we just have to confirm if he's arrived, Avin Bisundat is one of their main batters. And in fact, the rules require that any of the players who are playing in this final had to be playing in the lead up to the competition. So their 12th man, they indicated to me that he would not be able to bat if he has to play. He can field. So they will be batting with 10 persons alone and one batter short. So I'm sure they'll be hoping for Mr. Bisunda to arrive as soon as possible.
There may be a few beads of sweat rolling down the faces of the management right now as they hope that he gets here in time. And if the budget does allow, they might be sending the helicopter out for him at the moment. So there is the Rochard Road team. Several of these players have played for Powergen at some level, including Azruddin Mohammed, in fact, the brother of Jason Mohammed, and I believe that's him. Third from left of your picture. JD is what you'll see on his t-shirt. That's the man there, and if you get a close-up view of him, yeah, he does look, the silhouette does very much suggest the Mohammed family.
Even from here, just with the hat on, you can't even see the face, but the resemblance is very, very strong.
Yes, it certainly is. He looks a little bit more well-muscled than Jason. There he is. Yeah, you can see it now.
Are they twins, Vidya?
Yeah, they certainly do look like that. But Zarid and Mohammed, and you can tell this is a family that love cricket, and I'm sure that Dad and Mom would have been admirers of the great Indian player, Mohammed Azharuddin.
Yes,
the former
indeed.
captain, of course. Yeah, so we tend to see a lot of players in the Caribbean named after legends of India. We've had a couple of Imran Khans, one for Trinidad and Tobago, the other for Guyana, won the first edition of the Stanford T20. There was an Imran Khan on that team, the former Cricket West Indies media officer Imran Khan also. So we've seen a few of them. Of course, the original, shall we say, Imran Khan is in a little bit of trouble in Pakistan, arrested as there. And there's Azam Basarat. Well, he's in no trouble at all, is he?
Of course not.
He's been elevated to the vice presidency at the Cricket West Indies level, and great to see him here because it's important for the cricket board to show their support for tournaments like these.
Yes, just earlier Vinod and I were commending him for showing his presence at not only the club level but also the village cricket level, the national zonal level, the national premier competition level, and we both know he has duties in Antigua as well. So with the conclusion of the recent series, the Headley Weeks Trophy, we know that he was across there and he would have been involved in the decision to in fact select the new coaches for the West Indies team, which were released today. We know that Andre Kohli being selected as the test team coach, and
also A-team, don't forget that.
A-team as well, yes, and Darren Sammy selected as the white ball coach for the 50 overs and T20 format. So
I'm sure they were consulted because they didn't just get chosen today, but I'm sure they would have been as part of the interim setup of coaches. They would have been, of course, been part of that. There are some of the youngsters here. They're interested in the cricket, but a different form of cricket because that inclined area just behind them, they've been playing there throughout the afternoon. This might be about the 20th innings they've played so far. They've had their own little private match back there.
Yeah, I think they can get a test match in based on the amount of cricket we've been seeing played there. But, you know, it's really great to see those youngsters out and about and encouraged. I mean, a Friday night, it's easy to stay inside and, you know, look at some television and whatnot. But to have them out here in this atmosphere is really refreshing.
Yes, some officials from the Southern Sports Committee. This tournament has been around for 18 years and formed back in 2005. 24 teams they had at that point. And in terms of the effect this tournament has had on cricket in South and Central Trinidad, they're now up to 82 teams in 3 divisions. So starting off with 20, and it's been maybe not exponential, but it certainly has been a huge increase in the last 18 years or so.
Yes, and it's evident all around South Trinidad. In fact, Being from South myself in the Palmas area, whenever I take a drive around to the Penal area, the Laramie area, Woodland and thereabouts, there's cricket at almost every single ground in which it can be played. I mean, granted, some grounds would be bigger than others, some would be turf wickets, some would be sand wickets, but at no point in time does those factors deter any of those cricketers. You know, they come out Saturday and Sunday, they play 2-day leagues, they play 50 overs, they play T20, and essentially they want to play as much cricket as they can, because from just talking to some of them before the game commenced and the presentation ceremony, they were so eager to get on the field, you know. I mean, they were just rearing to get this opportunity to play in a finals at Brian Lara Cricket Academy. I'm sure they are even imagining that this is a CPL final, a World Cup final for them, as you rightfully said, because it's the premier competition for them to play in, and they certainly would want to do their best.
Two umpires out there at the moment, and the presiding umpire, at least the umpire who is at the wicket at the moment, that's Ramsey Devanarayan Singh. He's going to be operating out there, but a very familiar figure for women's cricket in Trinidad and Tobago. At the other end, Gayatri Sitahal, the former Trinidad and Tobago player, now 32. I'm sure, I don't think Gayatri's going to mention her name, her age on air. You never ask a woman her age, but we know this time. Gayatri has played 3 women's ODIs and 1 T20 for the West Indies. Former West Indies player, of course, Gayatri Sitahal, and she is here with us. Made her debut all the way back in 2008. Played against the Netherlands in 2 matches there, and her ODI and T20 matches played in the Netherlands. That series, I think, Stacey Ann King really made her name as a cricketer. Hit some massive sixes there. I think they were calling her Christina Gale after that tournament.
Yes, definitely. I mean, Gayatri Sitahal has been around for a long time. In fact, I recall when I used to play for Crico Prisal, I wouldn't say too long ago, you know, not to give away my age either, but she was playing at the national team at that point in time, and she was really one of those excellent cricketers coming out of the Prisal area. And in fact, she was coaching just earlier across in the nets with the Daranganga Cricket Academy. So to see her switching up from the coaching role and then now to the umpiring role, you know, it's really great for all of these cricketers, both past and present, to be involved in the game. And
she's here today, just outside of your picture at the moment, and they're just about getting ready to start here. There is the Rochard Road team just talking over the tactics, getting exactly what they would like to do in this one. Of course, we had a little talk with them earlier today, and they have an interesting attack. They have 4 seamers in there. They include Bibishan Rampasad is one of their seamers. Dave Mohammed is in there. Not the Dave Mohammed, the former Trinidad and West Indies player. This is Dave Mohammed, the seamer. So I'm sure he's been mistaken for him at some point. Dave Mohammed also out there, and Rindra Bihari and James Duncan are the seamers for the team. They have the 2 left-arm spinners, Vashisht Ramlal and Visham Ramrup, as well as the off-spin of Randy Seelal. And you've been talking also to the team, that's the batting team, La Fortune, a little bit about them.
Yeah, so La Fortune, we know that they have a lot of all-rounders in their side. One of their main batters, in fact, is Peter Grimes, who is also an all-rounder himself, but he played at the National 2 level at Barkpore some years ago, and he scored 84 not out as well as 71 in 2 of the 3 games leading up to this final. So I'm sure when he comes out, he'll be looking to repeat that effort. And Javed Mohammed, Jamal Mohammed, certainly no misers with a bat. They also have Ahmed Yosaran, Suresh Bal, and Ronnie Surajatan. So they'll be looking for these guys to be putting in their best performance today. And sure, I think based on what we've seen before in this tournament and based on the conditions, a good total would be definitely over 150. I think they'll probably look to that 180 mark if possible, knowing the fact that, I mean, the ball is running across this carpet so seamlessly.
Yeah, it certainly is. In fact, I was looking at the scores from the 3rd place playoff, and Settlement all-rounders, they got 196 in their match, and Tariq Abdul got 129 not out. And I'm sure you're going to say, well, Settlement all-rounders went on. They're the openers heading out there, Javed Mohammed among them. You would think that Settlement all-rounders would have won the game. They actually lost the game because Spoilers came up to score 198 and win the match. That was an amazing display of batting here.
Yeah, it was really exciting. I mean, coming down to the end, we saw some sixes that were so huge. Some of them, in fact, reached to the upper tiers of the stands. And, you know, up in the commentary booth, we had to be preparing to dodge some of those. As we hear some lovely music in the background, just giving you that bit of an IPL feel here as the batters walk out onto the pitch.
Yeah, Javid is going to face up to the first ball, former Naparima College player, as we mentioned. And you can see on the back of his T-shirt, very interesting, his number is not 5. It's actually 25 because it's 5 squared. So obviously there's a mathematical tie-in somewhere there. He's a man of few words, didn't give us the explanation. But we did try to get an idea of why is it 5 squared.
Yeah, of course. When I asked him whether it was 552 and there was an error, he just smiled. When I asked him if it's 5 squared, he just smiled. So I'm sure right now out there, there's no smiles as he faces up his first ball.
Rampasad, first one that's flicked away for 4. Down the leg side, a Banley line delivery here from Rampasad, and that's a good start for the La Fortune team, a boundary of the first ball.
Lovely shot from Javed Mohammed as we take a look at the replay there. That one lining down the legs and with a new ball. Look at how quickly it sped away to the boundary. You know, it's definitely a sin. I mean, he has a slip in place, so I'm sure he'll be looking to get in that awesome area and just try to move the ball away from Javed Mohammed. We see he's out there without a helmet, which shows his confidence. You know, he definitely is not afraid of anything that this opening attack has in store for him.
Bibishan Rampasad, just a correction on the first name of the bowler. Then flicks it down, but that's going to be, about to say it's going to be 1, but it is a couple because they decided to go for 2 more and they get 3. That's a naughty bit of fielding out at fine leg. It was one that was trickling towards him and really should have stopped that one.
Yeah, misfields this early in the game can certainly pay a price when it comes later down in the innings. But I'm sure they'll want to just shrug that off their shoulders and try to improve on these first 2 deliveries. 7 runs already scored, and that run rate, I mean, I know it's just 2 balls, but it certainly can be alarming if it continues in this fashion.
Sujatan is the other batsman out there, and he, like Mohammed, is right-handed. So there is a man out on the deep cover boundary. There's one slip in place. We saw a rather unusual situation in the third place playoff where both teams actually were playing short. One was playing with 8 players, one was playing with 9. The team that was playing with 9 actually had a slip for the majority of the game, which I thought was very puzzling because you're short in the outfield.
It was a very unusual tactic, I must say. That one is a lovely delivery outside the off stump there. A bit wide still, but thankfully getting some movement away as Javed Mohammed tried to play that one through extra cover, but missing out.
Yeah, the movement seemed to come late here, and let's see if... actually it started. Yeah, it did start a bit early there to Mohammed, and moving away. Next delivery, also getting some movement here. So Rampasad is getting the ball to swing in the air, and it's leaving Mohammed. Luckily for Mohammed so far, he hasn't really started it on the right length here because he really needs to give it a little bit more air, at least to trouble Mohammed and to entertain that first slip. Get closer to where he wants it. Not much swing that time, and just 1 resulting. So 2 interesting deliveries before that, just curving away from the right-hander, and that will bring an end to the over. At the end of the over, we should be about 10 without loss at the end of the over, and La Fortune have started well here.
Yeah, good start by La Fortune as we saw a quick single being taken there by Mohammed. So definitely showing their intent to keep the run scoring. I mean, after those first couple of deliveries, it would have been easy to just monitor the rest of the balls in the over, see how the pitch is playing. But in this format, take nothing for granted. Dot balls are goal, and singles off dot balls are also goal to the batting team.
So from this end, it's going to be the Rochard Road will have one of their number 7s. I say one of their number 7s because there are 2 of them, Randy Seelal and Dave Mohammed. Now, Dave Mohammed is the seamer in the team, so this is the other number 7. Yes, it's not football, folks, where you can only have 1 number 7. So Randy Seelal, we got a note saying that Randy Seelal was the shorter of the 2 number 7s, so I guess that helps. And then Dave Mohammed. Here's Dave. Short run-up for Dave Mohammed. Nicely played. Not anywhere up to full speed yet, Dave Mohammed, and that certainly was a bit short outside the off stump. But it's early days here, and Javed Mohammed still getting himself into form. Should be a single. And they've started with the mid-on the boundary, which is, well, a little bit unusual here because they have the two fielders outside of the ropes are a deep mid-wicket, or rather deep square leg, and mid-on. Don't often see that.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I think it's probably a ploy, given that these cricketers might know each other well from the community level, but they're leaving the same field in place for Sujatan. So let's see where this delivery is lined. This one outside the off stump.
Yeah, it's also very interesting that they have two men behind square on the leg side, one at short fine leg and one at a backward square leg. The other fielder is at a forward square leg. Now, a few paces to his right, and he might find himself in some trouble with the umpire, according to that leg theory law. So the umpires, I'm sure, will be looking at that. That one came back in sharply, and from his action, it looks like he's trying to get that ball to just get some cut into the batters, and he certainly did there.
Yeah, it seems to be some nice seam movement, as we see from the release.
Yep.
That ball already started to veer inwards, and then when pitched, cut back quickly into the batsman. So a very nice line and length thus far. That one too short on the leg side.
Too short this time, but just going to get one. Really would have liked to have seen the fine leg fielder attack that a bit more, but very conservative in his approach in getting to it. So La Fortune have started well here, and in terms of their opponents, the Rochard Road team, they haven't quite found their spots just yet in terms of the bowling.
This one is a better line delivery. Nice shot by Mohammed. It played straight to that fielder in the offside region. So a very good over there from Ceylal Compston, and just 2 runs coming off it. And the score after 2 overs is 11 without loss. La Fortune, after a very explosive first over, being restricted there a bit, as we see the president of the cricket board and vice president of Cricket West Indies in our picture, just having a chat with some of the players and some of the members of the cricketing community.
Also, the Tassa drummers are chirping up away to our right, and that is serious discussion going on there. A high-powered meeting, a tete-a-tete, a meeting of minds out there. So it's going to be Prasad to continue. Babishan Prasad, named after one of the great kings of Sri Lanka. If you've read the Ramayana, certainly one of the kings of in the Ramayana who was a bit of a turncoat from what I remember. So it's cut away straight to the fielder. There's not going to be a run. Yeah, he turned from the. If you remember, if you are familiar with Hindu mythology, supported the Red Army after turning away from the forces of Ravan.
Yes, indeed. I remember my younger days playing Ram Leela, where that was very pivotal in the play itself. That's a wild shot outside the off stump. That delivery wasn't the best, to be honest. I mean, short and wide. It just seemed to miss connection with it there, so he'd be ruining that opportunity, Sujatan.
Yeah, Sujatan. Well, he hasn't done much in terms of being a turncoat here, Ramprasad. He has started fairly well. 9 runs in his first over. He has some protection in the deep cover position. There's also some protection for him down at long off, just 1. And so we have Rochard Road starting well here. Certainly not the explosive start that we saw in the last game. All-rounders, 196. I mean, Tariq Abdul, 129. That's Chris Gale-like in terms of what he did in that last game. Cut away, 4. Brilliant shot outside the off stump. Some with an offer for Ramprasad, and that was an exquisite cut shot for 4.
Excellent shot there by Javed Mohammed, showing that he still has what it takes to play at the highest level of cricket, as we see the replay there. That one beautifully cut away and into the gap, because that area of the field is in fact packed with 2 fielders very close to each other. So to find that gap and pace it was some very good placement by Javed Mohammed, and that ball sped away to the boundary for 4 runs. So he looks to be in extremely good touch here, as he would want to lead his team to a very good total.
Yeah, this backward point and a very wide, fine third man in place. This one's going down in the region again. And good backing up just behind of the keeper. The keeper wearing the number 23, a famous T-shirt, number made famous, of course, the great Michael Jordan's, who still many regard as the greatest basketball player of all time. And in fact, Keshav is showing me he is also wearing number 23, inspired by Jordan, no doubt.
Of course, and by my birthday as well. Also David Beckham. This one is a better line delivery. Play down to the long off area and they get a single, so it looks like Sujatan is just going to rotate the strike and try to give Javed majority of the deliveries to the face.
Well, bad idea, because he is 4 off 8 deliveries, and after 3 overs, La Fortune are 18 without loss, 7 runs coming in that over, so that's quite tidy so far. The current run rate at 6 per over, and there's umpire Gayatri Sitahal, the former West Indies and Trinidad and Tobago player, now performing the duties as coach and umpire. So great to see that she hasn't left the game. I know she hasn't played for a while, but great to see her still involved in the game at this level.
Of course, it's always good to see that involvement, and especially with the youngsters in the coaching aspect, and then now to the senior aspect with the umpiring at the Southern Sports Final here.
So it's going to be to continue here. Well, actually, it's going to be a bowling change. Randy Seelal has now been brought into the attack. So Randy Seelal just about to start. Is it? No, it's Dave Mohammed, sorry. 2 number 7s. That can be caught on the boundary, and that's an excellent bit of fielding. Great catch on the boundary, and the man sliding across there, that's Azruddin Mohammed, took that very well. May have lost his footing at the end, but the brother of Jason Mohammed, and he has the same Swee celebration.
He made it seem so easy, that one, as we see the replay here. That one drifted into middle stump. Looked like a good shot initially, but just held out to the fielder there as he took a running catch, dived at the right movement, and didn't dive too much to say that he overtimed the ball, but caught it comfortably. And in the end, La Fortune losing their first wicket, with Sujatan going for 4, scored off 9 deliveries. So 18 for the loss of 1 wicket after 3.1 overs.
Well, just a couple of meters more, and that would have gone for 6 runs. So he might be walking off disconsolately, feeling a little bit aggrieved. But that was an excellent catch there by Mohammed, who looks pretty much as athletic as his brother is. And we know about the batting of Jason Mohammed over the years, but certainly he's always been very, very fit, works hard in his fitness, and always trying to tweak his game to get an extra advantage. And his fielding also has been of a high standard over the years.
Of course, and very intelligent cricketers as well, you know, always looking to see where they can do their best in each aspect of the game, trying to improve at each level. And I mean, that catch was just the epitome of ease in terms of how we got that ball executed. And we saw a Mohammed duo there, because Mohammed the bowler, Mohammed also the fielder taking a catch, and we have a Mohammed at the non-striker end.
Yeah,
so
well, we were hoping if he had gotten out, well, that would have been interesting. Mohammed
totally
caught
game
Mohammed,
changer.
bowled Mohammed. Hasn't happened before, but I do remember a situation at a match I did back in 2008. It was Brian Lara's first class 100 in Trinidad, and there was actually Gibran Mohammed was keeping. Dave Mohammed took the wicket, not this Dave Mohammed, but the Dave Mohammed who played for Trinidad. Oh, there was a stifled appeal, 10 down, and so Mohammed, the batsman, the Guyana batsman was out. Mohammed caught Mohammed, Gibran Mohammed, bowled Dave Mohammed, and Fazir Mohammed was doing the commentary. So there were a trio of Mohammeds. Are you surprised that there are 50 pages of Mohammeds in the phone book?
Of course not. One of the most common names in Trinidad and Tobago, as Mohammed runs.
Oh, that's slashed away. That could go all the way for 6 runs, just inside the ropes, and that's gone for 4. That's an excellent shot. Now, the stroke was on, certainly wide outside the off stump, no protection out there, and he hit it very well. And Grimes picks up a boundary.
Yeah, that one too wide outside the off stump. Foolish length. And dropping just inside the ropes for 4 runs. Could have easily gone for 6. Not an easy shot to play, that one. The extra cover. And Peter Grimes opens his account with a boundary, so he certainly is in the mood for business as well. One of the top batters for La Fortune in the series thus far.
Sujatan actually started very, he's perhaps the batsman in this form of T20 at this level. You still find room for those players who graft just that little bit. There was talk about in the last 2 World Cups. Not the last one last year where West Indies shot out in the qualification round. But before that, there was talk about bringing on Ruston Chase as a sort of as the next one, straight to the fielder. There was talk about still having that role where you had an insurance man, so to speak, in between the hitters to hold the innings together.
Yeah, definitely has been a ploy of some of these teams across the world. And I mean, from what we've seen in the advent of modern T20 cricket, those players have to stabilize but also be able to hit the ball coming down to the death overs. So, you know, it's really of a dual role in that sense. And I mean, Ruston Chase, he played that very well for the CPL. Yes. But unfortunately, he didn't manage to do it for the West Indies when he got the chance.
Well, he didn't get much of a chance. In
Correct.
fact, he didn't get too many chances, to be fair to him. This one's hit long, and that's gone for 6 runs. First 6 of the match, and that's landed in the stands. 4 rows up, and there was a gentleman ducking away. And tell you what, there's Rairico Mas. He's with the sponsor of the tournament there, 103 FM. But that was hit brilliantly by Grimes.
What a shot from Peter Grimes there. Played that one with real ease, I must say. And the manner in which he executed it shows that he's in the mood for a lot of runs here.
Well, Rai's wife may have had a few flutters there. She saw that one flying towards her husband. Edge, and that will run away for 4. No first slip. Short third man is wide, and that is another boundary for Grimes. And after the fall of the wicket, look at that. There was 3 boundaries, 4, a 6, and then another 4. So 14 runs of the last 3 deliveries of this over.
That one a bit fortuitous, getting that outside edge, but it was thick enough and no protection there. I think even if there was a short third man, he would have had a very quick chase to the boundary to stop that one because it was a bit fine.
This is going to be very interesting here because we were talking about the role of Stu Jatton, who just seemed to be that insurance man at the top to kind of hold the innings together. But now that Grimes has come in, the number 3, as we always say, is very much the barometer of the innings. I tell you what, his temperature is reading really hot right now. He's there. Actually, it's Mohammed who seems more pedestrian compared to what he's done so far.
I think now Javed Mohammed will assume the role of that batsman who probably has to play through the innings because he has the capability to mix it up, as in play straight, play stable, and also play the big shots when needed. As we see there, it's a very nice shot played back to the bowler.
So 32 for 1, 4.1 of his gone, and the run rate, which was hovering around 6 all the way through, has shot up to 8, now dropped shortly back down to 7.68. And Javed Mohammed has started well also. As you can tell, he's pretty strong, square up the wicket. Not exactly a lot of width there, but able to work it, but not quite into the gap just yet. And with Grimes there, that certainly may not change his psychology much because he's also quite adept at picking up these boundaries. As I say that, I put the curse on him there. There was one to cut away, but he cut that, didn't get the timing at all.
Yes, he missed out on that one there, getting the bottom edge of the bat and going straight to the keeper. We know that could go many ways in this type of cricket. Bottom edges can go onto your stumps, can even go for 4. And that one got no runs, thankfully, for the fielding team.
Nice shot. There's protection out there in deep cover regions. It's going to be 1. Earlier today, in fact, just a couple hours ago, the Trinidad and Tobago team got their 2nd win in the CG Insurance Women's Super 50 competition. Karishma Ramharak having a very good all-round day. Picked up 3 wickets, and then with Trinidad and Tobago looking to be sliding away to defeat, she had 23 not out to guide Trinidad and Tobago to a 2-wicket win over the Windward Islands. So congratulations to the ladies. A loss to Barbados in their first game, a 1-wicket win over Jamaica in the second, and now a 2-wicket win over the Windward Islands. They play the Leeward Islands next on Monday.
Some really exciting cricket going on there. Oh, that's
a naughty-looking shot there by Grimes, looking to power that one through the offside. You saw his intentions there. With the man at deep cover, he's trying to get that one over extra cover.
And some good protection on the offside for Rampasad. That fielder remaining at long off and extra cover. Grimes has shown he can play both offside and leg side from the last over.
Oh, he's hit that straight. The man's coming into the picture. This should be caught. Oh, miscommunication. They've dropped it. Three men, they were all looking at each other. I think they were hoping that Mohammed would have come in to take the catch, but then he pulled out, and that was it. It looked for all money that was going to be dropped at that point.
My word, Vidya, I must say, I think that is a chance they might rue coming to the end of this game, because you can't give someone like Grimes any opportunities. And it seemed as if he had everything covered. You know, he positioned himself, high hands, and it just dropped away from him at the last moment. I think if Mohammed continued running in, he would have caught that very comfortably, in fact. But again, we don't know the communication levels out there.
Yeah.
With three players converging at the same time.
I think he was calling Mohammed in, and Mohammed was telling him, no, you take it, because you look at the orientation of the player's body. He wasn't exactly behind it to absorb the force of the ball coming down. He was sideways on, and whenever you see a player in that sort of position, and you're not in a slip, there's a great possibility that's going to be grasped, and it was.
Of course, and when you're running away, it's always a harder catch to take than when you're running into the ball.
It certainly is, and Rampasad now has 3 overs bowled. We had a couple of overs from Dave Mohammed. Now we're going to see a bowling change here. One of the other seamers for the Rochard Road team, and this looks like it's going to be James Duncan to bowl his first over. So James Duncan, familiar name. He's been around, played quite a lot around the cricket in South and Central Trinidad. And here he is, resurfacing here for the Rochard Road team. And let's see what he brings to the party.
We see Javed Mohammed just calling for his helmet there. Probably knows something that we don't in terms of the pace and bounce of Duncan.
Yeah, he knows James Duncan, doesn't he?
You can already see he has a longer run-up than either of the bowlers that has opened thus far. So let's see how he fares as he runs in here.
Yep, he said he does have a bit more pace. Certainly a lot more than Mohammed. Well, that's a wild-looking throw that can't seem to locate the keeper. No overthrows, though. Yeah, so definitely a lot more pace here from James Duncan. And Duncan bowls medium pace, has played in the Premiership 2 for a period here, James Duncan. And saw a couple of... he's played for Defence Force. So that's one of the teams that he has played for in the past. Edge, and there's a third man in place, and there he is. And does the fielding and gets across to that. So no run added to the total. And that is one of the number 7s, I believe. That's Randy Sealisle. Well, they say he's the shorter of the 2 number 7s. I don't think there's much of a difference.
It's very difficult to tell from up here, but we know that one of the number 7s is also wearing the white hat.
All right, there he is. Well, that's not quite there for the pull shot, and it will bring the man. Actually, it's not 7. That's 17, is it? Down there. Or 37, in fact. Narendra Bihari, who's down there. And so just getting the numbers right. There actually are 2 number 6s and 2 7s. So it's 6s for 7s here literally at the time. Down the leg side, and that's 4. Clearly coming off something. It is a wide. Well, it came off nothing, in fact. It was too wide down the leg side. The keeper couldn't gather it, Jagmohan, and that is another bunch of runs there for the La Fortune team.
That's one of those criminal deliveries, Vidya, when it's so wide that not even a keeper can take it, and guaranteed 4 runs with no protection down that side. So after a very tight start from Duncan, just easing a bit of pressure there, giving away those 5 runs. And I was now going to commend him with his field placing, because this is the first time we've seen a third man on the boundary for any of the bowlers, and at least 2 of the 3 deliveries, apart from the wide, went to that third man region. So it seems like he knows what line and length he wants to bowl and which angles the batsmen are going to play. That one again.
Oh, that's cut away, and the fielder is going to have to chase this one down. He's not going to get there. That's a good boundary there for the batter, Mohammed. And we talked about how strong he's in that area. Just waited on that, saw it coming short, and look at this. More of a guide rather than a full-blooded cut shot.
I think he played that really well, because he was very aware of that third man fielder as well as the deep extra cover. So that one, he just guided it in that gap between 2 of them. And the timing was certainly very on point there. So Javed Mohammed going well as this one is played straight to that fielder in a circle, no run.
That's also going to be the end of the over. Well, actually, just one ball to go. There was a wide in the over. So a couple balls still to be bowled here. The scoring rate just hovering about 8 now. That seems to be the new new mean for this La Fortune team. Slashed away again. This is another boundary. The fieldsman out at the couple position. Can't get there. And he is just running across their Ramroop to retrieve the ball. That's another fine shot by Javed Mohammed.
Excellent execution there from Mohammed. As we see the replay, James again short and wide. That one wasn't even too wide, to be fair to him. It was actually a bit closer to the stumps, but Mohammed, I mean, he has certainly showed his capabilities thus far. You can't pitch anything short on the offside for him. You know, he would either punch it into the gap or he would play that very exquisite square cut and getting 2 boundaries in that over already. So after a tight start there, Duncan, just giving it away after the wide.
Yeah, Duncan, and we're here at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy in South Trinidad for the Southern Sports Premier League final between La Fortune and Rochard Road. And if the 50 is up, by the way, with that last boundary. So after 6 overs, La Fortune are 50 for 1, 16 runs coming off that last over there from Duncan. And started so well in just the 5 runs. And I think that, if anything, what changed his psychology in that over was the one he pushed down the leg side. He went short after that, trying to use the pitch. There's a fair amount of green on the pitch, but there's also... it's not the fastest of pitches out there. It's certainly not Kensington Oval, and it's great for this form of cricket and great for the batters.
Yeah, certainly not the quickest pitch out there, but a very good one indeed for both sides to try and get wickets or make runs if they have to. I think these batters, I mean, they have played so much cricket in their lives thus far, they can certainly see out the new ball when it was swinging. I mean, we noted a couple of deliveries passing the outside edge of the bat and deceiving the batsman, but now they seem to be very confident in their stroke play.
So some spin now, left arm orthodox spinners. There are 2 on the Rochard Road team. So a change here. This is Ramroop to bowl his first ball. Oh, that struck him on the pad, and we already see that Ramroop, quickish action and also sliding it on with whippy action, and certainly not, he doesn't come at you very tall, does he? Sort of an angle coming into the batter.
Yeah, no flight on offer there. I think flight would be a mistake against Grimes unless they can hold back the flight and get the sky one. That one again darted in and played down to that fielder at long on. Just a single for Grimes. But we have seen his intentions thus far, Ramroop.
Yeah, he's, well, Grimes is going to go after him. Ramroop wants to just dart it in, take away the batsman's arms here. But it's going to be an interesting battle. Now let's see how Javed Mohammed, who likes width on offer, and let's see if he can drive it straight here. Oh, that's full. That is very full. He asked for it. And umpire Devnarayan Singh says that's not out, maybe going down the leg side.
Yeah, that one seemed to be angling down the leg side. And we haven't seen much leg side shots from Javed Mohammed, apart from the first delivery of the innings where he flicked for 4. You know, so it would be very interesting to see how he fares against this line of attack from Ramroop.
That's a full delivery, but gets behind that one nicely. And with no real spin on offer here, no flight on offer, it's always wise to play bowlers like these, more like medium pacers really. Play in the V as you get your eyes accustomed to what they're doing.
And 4 deliveries thus far, almost Yorker length in fact. And again, that one.
It's a bit wide this time, and just going to be 1 this time. It went so quickly to the other left armer out there. I believe that's Ramlakan who's fielding out on the boundary. Bihari, in fact, it is. 37, Bihari. And that's 1 more to the total.
1.
Yeah, so they're trying to come to terms with this new line of attack here from the bowler Ramroop. But he's done a tidy job, just the 4 singles in the over. 54 for 1 at the end of 7.
And a really tight over there from Ramroop, angling all those balls into the stumps of the batsman, not really giving them much room to free their arms. And we saw that he had a very strong field on the leg side as well, with that fielder at long on, as well as a fielder at cow corner, and one at deep mid wicket. So thankfully none of those fielders had to run to the boundary, all of those deliveries just trickling to them for singles. And I'm sure James would want to improve on that first over. I mean, he started very well with 3 deliveries, conceding just singles off them. And after that wide, his line started to stray a bit.
Yeah, and also his length. He also went a different form of attack. And saw a shot of the crowd there. People already have their popcorn. Certainly is a matinee sort of feel here for this one. And all forms of, you can stay home and watch Netflix if you like. But the chance to come and watch your fellow villagers play cricket is just too much to turn down. Netflix can wait for another day. Here's Duncan to continue here. That's a good delivery. That's more of the length and line that he wants to bowl here against the likes of Mohammed. Just starve him from that area that he loves to slash away at those outside the off stump. And I think that's the sort of line he wants to get.
Yeah, Mohammed playing 2 very lovely square cuts in the last over. So Duncan will be mindful of that, not to give him too much on offer, as again that one passes the outside edge of the bat.
Yeah, so he's found the spot here. That's the spot, Javid. Yeah, he's moving it away. That's what he's telling. Yeah, and Javid, who seems to have his Pythagorean calculations correct. He's worked out the angles with that 5 squared on his back. Yep. Another good delivery, and he's picked up 1. That's intelligent cricket there from Mohammed. Realized he's going to come with it again, just angled the bat, picked up the single.
Yes, very smart cricket indeed. And I'm sure he would have no problem allowing Grimes to strike, because Grimes is the sort of batsman that he can play any type of shot. Even if you play a delivery that's, on a good line and length, he can hit it out of the park. So it'd be very interesting to see how Duncan looks to change his line and length against Grimes, or whether he looks to maintain that area right outside the off stump.
Hard length again. And they go for the single. Mohammed might be in some trouble here, but he's quick, still maintaining some of that pace that he had when you would have seen him play at secondary schools cricket. Certainly the outstanding cricketer, footballer of his year, and no slouch with the cricket bat in his hand.
He was one of those talents in secondary schools cricket that, could do everything. Bat, bowl, field, score goals, defend, everything.
Well, he's gone for this one. That's gone high up into the air. The keeper's coming for it and takes the catch. That was a good call. Credit there to Jagmohan, the wicket keeper, because the man at point was coming in and the keeper said, no, that's my catch. You always want to have the man with the gloves to take those.
Very big wicket there for Rochard Road as Javed Mohammed skied that one up into the air, and the keeper with an excellent catch running forward. Duncan, we see there with his arms stretched in celebration, and Mohammed has to go for a well played 27. Captain of the team there, getting him off to a decent start. He would be unhappy with that dismissal, as he was certainly playing very well and seeing out all of the difficult deliveries, but that one just seemed to go after it, and probably a bit slower in pace from Duncan, deceiving him and getting that ball to go aerial. So well played by the skipper Javed Mohammed as he comes off. And the new batsman entering for La Fortune.
Man with number 80 on his back, that's Neil Ali. So Neil Ali is in now. Yes, Neil Ali is the number 80, so he's in right now. And Mohammed, who would have played some football at college level, actually played for Trinidad and Tobago's under 17 and under 20 national teams. And you played for the University of South Florida, scoring 1 goal and adding 18 assists in 80 games, which certainly is great stats for a defender. And great career there before now back home. And great to see him out there playing some cricket also.
Yeah, he was one of those who was certainly destined to go on to greater things, but certain circumstances, didn't allow him to go through to that path. However, very good to see him still playing cricket here back home in his country of Trinidad and Tobago. As we see Neil Ali facing his first delivery.
Left-hander. Neil Ali's always could find himself out. Well, the stumps, luckily for him, did not light up because he was in no man's land. And at the other end, Grimes was having none of it. He was not going to go anywhere. Told him to go back, and look at this. He's caught in no man's land and looking more like a 16-wheeler trying to do a 3-point turn on a one-lane road. Boy, luckily for him, he got back in time.
That could have gone horribly wrong there for Ali on his first delivery. As we see the end of the 8th over there, 56 for the loss of 2 wickets, La Fortune. And a good comeback over there from Duncan after being very expensive in his first one, getting the prize wicket of Javed Mohammed, as we just saw some kids there playing cricket on the side.
Well, I think there's a break in their test match.
I'm now going to say, I wonder what's the score there.
That might be the pavilion, actually, because the cricket, we're looking down now from our position. The cricket is still going on. Those three who were sitting, they might be padded up to bat later on.
Yes.
Here's the first ball of the new over there from Ramrup. And he does slide on to you, maybe Rangana Hirat-like. It looks like an unlikely bowler, just like Rangana Hirat did, but he was certainly very, very dangerous and comes at that angle at you also.
A very tight angle, as you know. Ramrup is also a former national youth player.
Oh, that is another peel there. He's that one's maybe going down the leg side. Always going to be very difficult for him to get that decision coming round the wicket, unless he can pitch it on middle and get that to straighten up sufficiently. And that seemed to be heading down leg side again.
Yeah. Close delivery, but still heading down leg.
On for the big hit. There's a man out there. Can he take the catch? No, he can't. That's gone all the way over the head of one of the number 6s. And that is another 6 here for Grimes, who's raced up to 32 of 16 deliveries.
What a shot there from Grimes. That one went over the boundary with such ease. I mean, initially we thought the fielder backpedaled and could have probably got a hand hit, but nothing is staying within the boundary rope here from Grimes. That one, lovely 6, just to release some of the tension that Ramrup has put in thus far.
Grimes has gone for this one. That's another 6. Or will it be? Just on the ropes, and it's taken. Just inside the ropes, and Grimes has to go. Grimes is out. That's an excellent catch on the boundary. Huge pressure on that one, but Rampasad does the trick for Rochard Road, taking a great catch on the boundary.
What a catch there, and that one we thought was going over the ropes as well into the stands, but holding out on the boundary line. An excellent catch, using his 2 hands, catching it at the proper level. Oh, really well done there by Nico with a number 10 on his back. And even the fielder next to him was just smiling in disbelief. He was like, wow.
Yeah, well, he was doing more harm than good, because
Could have easily shadowed him.
Because you could have seen that Rampasad was actually, as the way he turned his body to take the catch, he was also looking to see where the other fielder was coming. But the end of a good innings here from Grimes, 26 of 16 deliveries. And tell you what, it's 8-62 now for 3. Great start here by La Fortune, but you're getting the feeling that Rochard Road are starting to pull things back now.
Yes, with the introduction of Ramki Soon into the wicket now, it's very tough to see how these batters are going to fare. 2 new batters at the crease, and Ramrup bowling very tight on one end, Duncan on the other end, and both of those bowlers getting a wicket each in the last 2 overs. So Ramrup, as we know, is a former national youth player and also played for Powergen for several years. Certainly has the capabilities to keep the side down and to minimize the run scoring.
Grimes, former Rosilak first team player, one of the many teams that we have seen him at over the years. Not 2015, got 100 along with Kamesh Yadram in the South Zone competition for Rosilak. Also got his trophy at the TTCB Awards that year. And once you score 100, you get a trophy. I'm sure you have a couple of those at home.
Unfortunately not.
I was trying to build you up.
I appreciate that very much. Yeah.
It's going to be 1 down. And that's some good work there behind the stumps. Kept it down to 1. 63 for 3 inside the 9th over here. So there will be a break coming up, I believe, at the end of 10 overs. And a good time for the La Fortune teams to try to assess where they are. Nervous start here for Ali. Almost run out of his first delivery. Ramki Soon is just 1. So good work here by Rochard Road, 2 new batsmen at the crease.
Yeah, and these 2 batters would certainly want to keep the run rate ticking, because it's easy to get bogged down, as we saw an explosive start, now coming down to a very decent effort by the fielding team. Just 7.27 the run rate at this point in time, 63 for the loss of 3. Well, that's a quicker delivery there, pushed through.
Ramrup is the man who is taken the wicket in that over. So the end of a very good over here for Ramrup. Picked up the important wicket of Peter Grimes. And at the end of 9 overs, it is 63 for 3. And some thinking here for the La Fortune team. They have to reassess. Yes, they have a great start, but they've lost 3 wickets here. So there a chance for them to try to figure out who's going to do the bulwark here at the moment.
Yeah, it would be very interesting to see how they would approach this. Neil Ali thus far playing and missing at a couple, so I'm sure he would probably be one of those to look to accumulate runs rather than a power hitter or any explosive type of batsman. Ramki Soon just getting a single thus far, so haven't seen much of him to really determine what type of role he's going to play at this point in time.
Well, he is going to be on strike, the taller, well, not by much, taller and slimmer of the two batters out there.
Duncan continues here. It's a good delivery. Just opening the face.
Just going to be one this time, getting it into the gap. And 64 for 3 is the score. And it's a very humid afternoon. I'm sure a lot of water is being consumed by these players out there. It was a very hot day today in Trinidad. If you're not in Trinidad at the moment, yeah, it certainly was another heated day. If you're in the cold somewhere, you would love to be here regardless. That's another good delivery. And already we've seen that Ali is certainly not in the greatest of touch here. And you can tell, I mean, if you've ever played the game and you've never been in touch, felt that good touch, you know, you can see that Ali is certainly not in the best of form at the moment.
Yeah, he seems to be playing and missing at almost all of the deliveries he has faced thus far. Not sure if he's been beaten for pace or if he's just not seen the ball as well.
Well, he saw that one and might get a boundary here. That one's rolling away over the Brian Lara Wicket Academy, and it's gone for 4 runs. So just when we thought that he wasn't in the best of form, he says, no, I am seeing the ball like a breadfruit already, and that is 4 runs.
I think he certainly heard us from our pair video, because that one, he shaped up different from all of the deliveries before. Seemed to want to hit it before the bowler even released the ball from his arm, and getting a nice boundary there to ease some of that pressure. So Ali goes on to 4 from 5 deliveries.
That was Jackie Saw who was chasing that down. He has Dapper on the back of his shirt. Yeah. Outside the off stump certainly does not look quite as accomplished. That ball that he pulled away for 4 was not one you would want to pull at. It was on the stumps. It would have hit the top of the leg stump, pulled that away, but outside the off stump, he hasn't touched a single delivery.
It looks like he has one favorite shot that he wants to execute, and it's that shot to the leg side. You see this one again outside the off stump and passing the edge of the bat.
It's a wild swing at that one there from Ali. It is a big final, and we referenced the fact that this very much is like a World Cup final for these players. And they're out there, and Ali trying to do the best for his team, for his community, and bring some glory to the La Fortune area. That one's pulled away. Similar delivery, similar result also. That's gone for the boundary for 4. And that's another one. Wasn't quite there for the pull shot on the line of the leg stump, but he pulled it away for 4. Extraordinary shot and 2 boundaries here for Ali in the over.
Innovation at its finest, I must say. And I mean, what was Duncan thinking, to be honest? Because the 2 deliveries that were pitched close to the batsman went for 4. Every single delivery that was outside the off stump went past the bat for no run. So I think that was an error on his part there, just angling that one into Ali. I mean, granted, a very unconventional shot, that one playing it from just on or about middle and off and hooking it away to the leg side, but getting the result he desired there in another boundary.
That was going to hit the stumps there. And the thing about Ali is that, well, it's an unusual looking shot. It was a kind of half pull, well, it was a pull shot. Well, it is a pull shot. Not the delivery you would expect to be seeing scuttling away to the boundary through the mid-wicket area, but it is one that he certainly does enjoy.
So just getting some information from members from the La Fortune team. Apparently they refer to Mr. Ali affectionately as Uncle.
Uncle, okay.
You know, they said he's a bit unorthodox in his play, but once he gets going, he can certainly strike the ball a far distance. So.
Well, yeah. Well, they said a bit unorthodox. I think you'd have to take the bit out because he's very unorthodox, but effective so far. 8 of 8 deliveries. He has done his job for the team. So, Uncle Ali. Well, there was a Uncle Ian Ali, if you remember. I don't know if, are you young enough to have seen Ian Ali on TV?
I'm young enough indeed. I can't remember in much detail, but I know the name.
Pulled away, and this is another boundary. And Ali, Uncle, is dealing out a lesson here as he's picked up his 3rd boundary within the space of 4 balls.
What a shot there from Ali. Clipping that one off the legs. And that ball racing away to the boundary. So thus far, all of his shots on the leg side. And that one, a very nice swivel there as he executed the shot all along the ground. So we see a bit of a change in the field.
Yeah, 4 men on the ropes now on the leg side, 1 at mid-off. And here is the next delivery from Ramrup. Going for a big shot here. And loves it in that area, but they've protected that area now. So let's describe that for you. There is a long on in place. There is a deep mid-wicket also. Forward square leg, and this one's gone straight up into the air. He should be caught here, and that's the end of Uncle Ali. He is caught at short third man, and the catch taken here, well, is taken by Makan. Makan, I think, is the man who's come on, and he's taken the catch.
That one's kited in the air by Ali. Unfortunately, any delivery on the off stump seemed to be a bit problematic for him. And that one swinging the blades at it, getting the outside edge, and a comfortable catch taken there by short third man. So brief but exciting innings at times from Ali comes to an end. 12 scored of 11 deliveries, and La Fortune, after 10.4 overs, 77 for the loss of 4 wickets. And we see coming to the wicket here the brother of the skipper, Javed Mohammed, Jamal Mohammed, who's also a very reputable cricketer and footballer from South Trinidad, having played for Presentation College. So I'm sure Jamal is coming out here with a job to do for his team. And going decent in terms of the run rate thus far, 7.2. But I'm sure they would probably want to get up to that 8 mark, ideally 9 if they can, but not lose too many wickets in the process, as we still have some 9 or 8 overs remaining in the innings after this.
We talked about Rochard Road could possibly be batting with 10. They will be batting with 10 in this match, because it appears that Alvin Bisundat, who was named in the starting 11, has not been able to make it in time. So Sean Makan has now come in. That's the man who took the catch there. And Sean Makan is in as a substitute. He will not be able to bat. So Rochard Road, the news is, breaking news here from the Brian Lara Cricket Academy, that they will be playing with 10 batters.
And that's certainly a loss, because Avin is one of their better batters. I mean, batters from the Hill Piece area. You know, he also runs one of the very popular bar establishments in that region. So I'm sure there must be a very good reason for him missing this game tonight. But we'd see how they would fare with those 10 batters as Ram.
Oh, he's forward to that one. This could be close.
And he gives
Give him. And Javed Mohammed is out first ball. That is, well, the other Mohammed brother, he has gone first ball and forward to it. And there have been a couple of those before. Maybe just getting that one to straighten enough. And Mohammed looks pretty much aggrieved.
As you see the replay here, that one angling into the stumps. Seems to have probably hit him on or wrong off stump, but very far forward, I must say. And he looked at the umpire in disbelief when he raised the finger there.
Well, you can see that reaction tells you he's not happy with it at all. And we did ask him how did he feel that the game would go, and he did tell us that he felt that they don't want it to be a close game. And you can see how much he's invested emotionally into this game. Very disappointed with that decision, but we're not in the ideal position. But the real question is, one, was that going to straighten enough to hit the wicket? The umpire felt that it was.
Yeah, and granted, the umpire would have the best view of the wicket itself. I mean, unfortunately, in this format, we don't have, you know, the luxury of third umpire and reviews and so on for the batsmen or the fielders to get that option. But at this point in time, the umpire's decision is final. So, admittedly, it did look close. I mean, it seemed to hit him just around that off-stump area, but very far forward. So, no telling what would have really happened with the ball there. But unfortunately, Jamal has to go for a first ball duck. And 2 wickets in 2 balls here for Ramrup, so he's on a hat-trick.
Yeah, Ramrup on a hat-trick, and a chance for him to take a 4th wicket. He'll be gunning for that hat-trick. He's asking, I'm sure he'll be asking for 3 slips and a gully at the moment, because he wants to make sure and get this hat-trick here. Might say, well, listen, I want a forward short leg in there for the moment. But he's coming left arm over the wicket now. And for the left-handed batsman, there's a short extra cover in place. And there is a slip. So there's protection for him, a chance for him to get a hat-trick in the finals here. Ramroop, can he do so? Vashish Ramroop, left arm orthodox spinner. Here is the hat-trick ball. Oh, outside the off stump. Not a bad delivery, but he's not going to get the hat-trick, but he has done some damage here. 2 wickets in 2 balls at the end of 11 overs. La Fortune are 77 for 5.
Ramroop with a really excellent spell here, Vidya, to bring back the game for Rochard Road. 3 wickets for 16 runs off 3 overs thus far. And I mean, he certainly shows that he was a former national youth player from his capabilities thus far. Really intelligent bowling, and I mean, it's certainly reaped the rewards here.
Yes, he certainly has. 3 for 16. He took some tap in his second over, recovered very well here. Now there's going to be another bowling change for the Rochard Road team. And Rochard Road are going for the other option. That's the other left-arm spinner. This is Ramlakan, correction. Vashish Ramlakan. Ramroop is Visham, just to correct the first name. So left arm orthodox, well, no, actually, let's see here. Is that, oh yeah, there are 2 number 7, so this is 2 number 6s, so this might actually be
Keegan Jagassar, I believe.
Yes, yeah, he is the right-hander. As we mentioned before, just to cover ourselves, there are 2 number 6s out there.
And 2 number 7s as well.
2 number 7s. So there was one, Vashish Ramlakan, but this is clearly the right-hander. Keegan Jagassar is greeted with one that is going to go over the ropes for 6 runs. And that was flicked away brilliantly there by Ramkisu to 9. And that was as easy as you...
Swinging the levers and getting a nice connection. Now he has to be wary because there is protection on the leg side. So has to be hitting those balls. Oh, and he's bowled him!
Yes, he's gone straight through him. And with his 3rd ball, he's taken a wicket.
He's cleaned the off stump here, Vidya. What a celebration.
He's enjoyed that. He certainly has enjoyed that. Hit for 6 the previous ball and now gone straight through him. And that is the ideal riposte here from Keegan Jagassar. And Ramkisoon perhaps getting a bit, yeah, that was a good delivery. That would have beaten a lot of batsmen. That was a lot faster than the previous one and knocked away the off stump.
And there really is nothing better than seeing the stumps rock back and being lit up as we saw with that delivery there. What a ball from Jagassar, and what a comeback after that 6. So again, pressure on the La Fortune team. 83 for the loss of 6 here in the 12th over, and they really want to try and stabilize this innings a bit because they have 8 overs left after this one, and 8 overs in a T20 version certainly are a lot. So they want to get that total up to around 150 ideally. I believe they can compete with, because I'm sure they have a very potent bowling attack as well. So it's just to ensure that they don't lose too many wickets quickly here in a consecutive manner.
So Keegan Jagassar, all of a sudden, he is like a 5-star general out there directing the traffic here for the Rochard Road team, obviously named after the great English footballer Kevin Keegan. I'm not sure if you were old enough to have seen Kevin Keegan, but what a fine footballer he was, the former Newcastle man.
Yes, I didn't get to see him in the playing days, but certainly saw some highlights.
Actually, this might age me a bit for your listeners. I actually saw him when he played for Hamburg in the German league. I saw him on television. That's how old I am. That one's edged, and that will run away close to the boundary here. A big chase on, and he just pulls it back in. Good work there by Ramroop, who's done yeoman service with the ball and now doing the business in the field. But didn't know too much about that one as it turned away from him.
Yeah, another great delivery there. As we see Ramroop chasing a ball to the boundary, noting the name on the back of his jersey, Rock, his nickname.
Yes, former Power Gen player, of course. And next delivery, this is, yeah, he doesn't have a big run-up here, Jagassar, but a whippy action. He does generate a fair amount of pace. He can be quite deceptive.
Very skiddy off the surface, and I mean, sometimes as we see his nickname, Bullet,
yeah.
It's certainly the type of deliveries he's setting in here, because even between deliveries, he's not giving the batsman much chance to settle. You know, as they knock their bat, he's already ready to deliver.
Yeah, he certainly is. A bullet with the ball in his hands. That's well played, and nice attempt to get that one in there, but past him and picks up 1. So after that 6, he really has turned it on here, and that is the end of a very good 12th over from for the Rochard Road team. 86 for 6 at the end of 12 overs.
Very tight over there from Jagger. Finished it in a quick manner as well. So keeping that over rate going very smoothly.
And really he has shown why he has the nickname Bullet.
Yes.
In so many ways, because that delivery that defeated Ramkisu, that one certainly, he really did fire that in. And like the projectile he's named after, that one just hit the center of the mark, which was the off stump.
And I think most interesting as well, when he releases the ball, it doesn't seem to be too quick. But once it hits the pitch, certainly skids off. As you see, Ramrup looks like he's going to be finishing his spell in this over, bowling 4 on the trot one time. I mean, why not, given the fact that he is taking key wickets and essentially has been a premier bowler thus far for Rochard Road.
Well, that's a poor delivery down the leg side from Ramrup. Heavy protection on the offside. There was a short third man, there was a backward point, and there was a point fielder in place. So obviously they're asking him, the skipper is asking him to bowl on one side of the wicket, and he immediately speared it down the leg side. But if your figures are 3 for 18, I don't think they'll be too harsh on him unless they lose the game by a long way here. And Ganesh, who is the new batsman in, a ball at the other end, has just faced one delivery. Ganesh the 3, and he has adopted a more respectful way of dealing with Ramrup. Obviously, they just told him, just play him out. It's just a couple of deliveries to go. Let's just play him out, and we'll try to attack the others out there.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, at this point in time, no sense in giving away a wicket. That one on the stumps. Played nicely into the leg side.
He will get the single here. The keeper, oh, that's good running. Very good running. It barely got out of the 30-meter circle, and the two batters immediately, Ganesh, the instigator there, he called for 2 immediately, and they got 2. Bow also backed up very well.
I just seen Duncan having a word with the keeper there, probably indicating to him that he could have run in and collected that ball and fired in the throw to prevent them to a single. But the keeper taking the initiative to just sprint away, and the batsman coming back for 2 in the end.
So Vishal Ganesh facing up to the dangerous Ramrup, who's looking for his 4th wicket. And, well, well, he wouldn't have gotten it there, but there almost was a run-up. Ganesh apologizing to Bal at the other end. And Bal, you could see what Bal is telling him. Just play him out. Play him out. That's all we need to do here.
Yes, Bal on strike here, and certainly just playing carefully. That one straight back to the bowler as well. All respect due, and I mean rightfully so, given the way that Ramrup has fared thus far.
Yeah, he certainly has. And Bal back on strike, the left-hander, the 2 lefties out there. And talk about the single, but there's a lot of protection. That's the line they want him to bowl, and the end of an excellent spell here by Ramrup. 3 for 20 of his 4 overs, and his figures 4 overs, no maidens, 3 for 20. Excellent spell here by Ramrup.
Yeah, really excellent spell. I mean, we have seen him chasing balls all over, stopping the quick singles, and you know, what a performance for his team thus far.
And here is the man at the other end who took a wicket also in his last over, Keegan Jaggesar, as I mentioned, named after the former England player Kevin Keegan, who played, just to remind you, for Scunthorpe, Liverpool, Hamburger, transferred for, to play in Germany. He and Tony Woodcock were 2 of the famous English players in Germany at the time, Southampton, Newcastle United, and Blacktown City. Struck him on the pad here, and Bullet is asking for the dismissal, but it's turned down by umpire Sitahal.
That one looked to hit him just outside the off stump, as we saw Bal shuffling across his stumps. So umpire seemed unmoved at that point in time. As Bullet runs in again.
Oh, that could be caught just wide of the fielder. It just popped up on him, a slower delivery, and that one's certainly not the speed of the projectile they would have expected, and he just got caught in 2 minds.
We didn't really see any change of pace in terms of how he left that delivery, but it could be that it just held up in the pitch a bit, and that one going a bit aerially to the fielder there. Thankfully, not another wicket loss for La Fortune.
I tell you what, I don't want to drop a catch off his bowling. He has a fierce expression, and I think he directed a fair amount of Down the leg side again, but he directed a few verbals there towards Duncan, and Duncan was just left looking sheepishly away.
And granted, it wasn't the easiest opportunity either, so I think his standards are very high, Bullet, in terms of what he expects from the fielders off of his bowling.
Down the leg side, that took the edge and went away for 4. Definitely contact on that, off the glove perhaps, maybe the top of the bat. And that got a contact, and, well, keeper Jagmohan just couldn't get across to it. So that's a welcome boundary here for the Fortune.
Yeah, certainly helps the runs flow, as they would like to get over that 100 mark very soon. You know, just one of those mental milestones in this game, as we see the replay, that one swiveling down to the leg side, and no fielder in that region.
So Jagisar. Couple deliveries to go in this over. This one's flicked away. There's some protection for him there, but the fielder has some work to do, has to put out that right arm. That's good work. And it is Ramprasad who's out there, the opening bowler, and keeps them down to 2. So that's a good bit of work there by Ramprasad in the outfield.
Yeah, it was nicely played into the gap, as we see a very defensive field set here with all players on the boundary at all areas of the park. We see long off, long on in place. Deep extra cover, deep mid wicket, and a backward square that's a bit wide, closer to like a hybrid between the fine leg position and this backward square.
Jagisar doing well, fielding off his bowling. I felt he could have pushed for the single there because he is right-handed. For him to effect the run out, he'd have had to run around that ball. So I think they really should have gotten the single there, Bal and Ganesh. Should get one here, and easily. That square of the wicket. A lot of protection there, but the fielder not aggressively in. And the batsman getting that single pretty easily. So at the end of the 14 overs, well, that should be the 100 up there for La Fortune. And La Fortune picking up, well, they got some runs there in that over. 9 runs in the over, in fact, for La Fortune. So 6 overs still to go. They've bowled out Ramrup. Jagisar still has a couple of overs. They do have some options here. They're a little bit light as in the batting. They have part-time options in some other options who they haven't used just yet. So will we see more of Dave Mohammed at the back end here? We could also see more of Ramprasad who opened the bowling.
Yeah, and it would be certainly better for these bowlers to come back into the attack with wickets already down, and the fact that they know these batsmen have to go after them, so they can set their fields to suit the restrictions in play and just try to outsmart these batsmen as they look to wrap up this innings.
That's gone. That's a big hit. The fieldsman's coming around. He's not going to get that. That's landed 10 meters or more behind the boundary. The 100 is up for La Fortune, and it comes up off the bat of Bal in spectacular fashion. Welcome to the party, he says. That's smashed away for 6 runs.
Very exquisite shot there by Bal. Nothing better than a straight back 6. And that's when he actually posed with the shot after he played it.
Ramlakhan is the new bowler. That's Vashisht Ramlakhan, the left-arm orthodox bowler. And this time, no pretense of turn or spin that time. He just fired that one in.
And just opened the face there for a quick single. So some smart batting by Bal thus far, showing that he can play the aggressive shots as well as get the quick singles to keep the strike going.
Ganesh has to get going here. 4 of 9 deliveries, and Bal 14 of 9. That's more like it. So he picks up the single pretty easily here. So with 16 runs in the 107 runs in the 14th over, with just about 5.3 overs to go. Well, they are looking at something in the region of 150. 160, 170, I think they'd be happier with.
Yeah, I think if even they can get over that 150 mark, just mentally they'll be happy. Because I know that they have the bowling to certainly back it up.
Good bit of fielding there by Ramrup, who is backing up his fellow bowlers in the field. And got across to that one pretty quickly.
Nice leg.
And very much, you can hear the keeper saying, that's the length we want. And that's pretty much the length that we saw from Ramrup in that successful spell of 3 for 20.
Yes, as we see Dapper on the back of his jersey. As you also know, the West Indies cricketer Kyle Mayers affectionately has his nickname as Dapper as well.
Yeah, another good delivery here. Yeah, Dapper. And 108 for 6 at the end of 15 overs. And this is La Fortune, perhaps maybe a little bit behind where they felt they should have been. They were at 8 and over at one point. Scoring rate has dropped to 7.2. And that's not the right sport for this venue, is it? There was some talk about whether there would be football played here, but this is the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. Brian Lara, don't forget, would have played football for Trinidad and Tobago at under 10 level, alongside two guys whose names you might remember, Dwight York and Russell Latterby.
And to this day, they are still very good friends. I'm sure they established a bond from that under 10 level till now.
That is,
because
exactly.
they play golf, they hang out together, they keep in touch. You know, it's very good to see those premier athletes from Trinidad and Tobago always showing their unity, and that one is a wide delivery from Bullet. Let's train a bit here.
Yeah, certainly did down the leg side. And
we don't want any stray bullets. We know that's never a nice thing, so he'd want to keep his line and length sharp as possible.
Yeah, his accuracy just slightly off there, but definitely has Bal and Gunnies in his sights here. Bullet looking to knock them over. Hit the center of the target, perhaps, if you want to put it that way.
Yes, I think he has to be the magic bullet for his team at this point. See if you can wrap up these remaining wickets. So at least keep it tight, build some pressure so that the ball on the other end has an easier task.
Well, and again down the leg side.
Another straight delivery.
Well, it would have been a magic bullet if that had come back from way out there to hit the leg stump. The magic bullet theory was, as you're of course a law in the legal profession, you would remember that. Good delivery again here from Jagisa. They gone for the run. Fielder drops the ball. The magic bullet theory was used very famously in the JFK case by Jim Garrison, as you remember, the attorney out of Louisiana.
Yep. There certainly was a lot of interesting facts in that case.
Yes.
I mean, if we look to go back through them, we'd be here all night. But, you know, it's one of those that, I mean, I think the entire world was looking on and just amazed at how many intricacies were present there.
Yeah, the magic bullet theory, but not so magical right now is Jagisa, but he's done a very good, more than a decent job here for his team. 1 for 19 halfway through the third over. Full toss. Oh, that could go all the way. In fact, he might be caught. Oh, he's dropped it.
Oh.
Difficult chance. And two batsmen had the wrong end. There could be a run out here. There should have been a run out. I tell you what, Rochard Road would be very disappointed. Yes, the catch was dropped by Rampasad, but after that, you had the unusual situation of two batsmen running down to the same end.
Really a comedy of tales there in that situation. I mean, initially I thought that catch was going to be taken. I was in fact expecting it to be taken given the expert fielding by Nico Rampasad down there and that end. And I mean, just the way he dived forward for the ball after seeing it been dropped, looking at the middle of the field where
bowler's end, and one was actually trying to get back. The other one was encouraging him to get to the other end, which he did. Oh, dropped it! Straight at the fielder and straight through his hands. That was Duncan there. Awkward sort of height, just in between the waist and shoulder height, and he put it down.
Certainly was hit with some power. And I mean, that point in time, we saw Buller just walking away, not saving any choice words for Duncan after that drop catch.
Well, I think he would have wanted to fire a few words at him after that, but he didn't do so. He kept his pistol holstered there.
Of course.
For that moment.
Keep the safety on at all times, Mr. Bullet.
Yeah, I don't think he has the safety off at any point. He looks to be that fiery kind of character, but you need people like him on the team to keep their teammates on their toes and not let... they were in a good situation, but not let them become too complacent out there.
Yes, as they're coming down to a very crucial time in this innings. 4 overs remaining. 114 for the loss of 6 wickets. Run rate just over 7. I think if they can get it up to 8, at least finish on around that 160 mark, they'll have a very competitive total to defend.
24 balls to go here. They're a distance off that 160 mark. This has been a good performance by Rochard Road to pull things back. And these two left-arm orthodox spinners, very, very different, Ramlakan and Ramroop. But Ramlakan has fitted into that groove that was set there by Ramroop very well. And the field is there to back him up. Oh, straight back past the bowler, got a hand on it. But I think he might be examining his right hand to see if all the fingers are there at the moment. That was technically a drop chance.
Yes, a difficult chance at that. I mean, it's either it sticks or it doesn't. Those chances hit a bit powerfully back to the bowler.
This could be caught. The fielder's coming in. Is he going to get it? Yes, he gets it. Excellent catch in the outfield. The quality of the fielding here from Rochard Road is to be admired. Had a couple chances that went down, but this time that's going to be the end of Bal. He's gone, caught in the outfield for 16 and the first wicket for Ramlakan.
Very good catch taken there, as you said. And I mean, apart from the couple drop catches in the field, they have really taken some expert ones. And that one running and making sure that he cushioned it so it didn't drop out at the last minute there. Proper execution from the fielding team.
And that's Makan who's taken his second catch. The first one was a lot easier. That one just slid his body under the line of the ball and did well to hold on to that one. There is Amit Devsaran now coming in, the man with number 88 on his back. So let's see what he can do coming in at number 9.
Ramlakan seems to be an impact fielder in terms of his substitute coming in for Arvind, who was unable to reach in time.
So 115 for 7. Certainly La Fortune would not have expected to be in this position. They won the toss and decided to bat. They got 27 from Javed Mohammed. Peter Grimes gave them 26. Since then, they have managed to pull things back here. As you would expect, the two left-arm orthodox spinners have done the job for them. First Ramrup and now Ramlakan. 1 for 10 Ramlakan's figures, still very much in his second over here. So Devsaran just getting himself organized. Another one of the left-handers here for the La Fortune team.
Nicely line delivery there, just playing it forward defensively.
Lovely, lovely.
Might be a bit watchful in his first couple of deliveries, Joe Saran.
Yeah, not much of a time here to play himself in because it's happy hour, as they say, in the 17th over. He's gone for that one, and that squirts away across the outfield. When you see shots like that with the angled bat, the ball just sort of curves away, as Cristiano Ronaldo free kick would have done 10 years ago.
When he was in one of the greatest clubs in the world, you mean, in Manchester United?
Was. I see you said was at Manchester United.
No, of course. I must acknowledge the fact that, you know, the present state isn't the best.
Yeah, they certainly have slid down the ranks a little bit, but Mr. Ten Hag is trying to pull things back. And that is the end here of the 17th over. La Fortune at the end of 17 overs are 116 for 7. That is a great over there from Ramlakan. Just 3 runs and the wicket coming in that over.
Yes, a good over indeed. As I'd like to just say a special good night to my colleague, Mr. Amral Pasad, one of the executive members of the Southern Sports Premier League. And I know he was very pivotal in the Valiance cricket team as well. Still is. Both a player, manager, coach, everything he does for that cricket team. It's really good to see him out here with the Southern Sports League and lending his influence and experience to all of these cricketers.
Yeah, great to have him up here with us, and wonder which side that he is having, well, which side is he supporting? Oh, he's a neutral in this as a member of the executive committee. Duncan is back on the attack here, so let me not get him in any, Amaral back in any trouble.
Of course.
To suggest a lack of impartiality.
We know the Valiance team is from the Laramie area as well, so could be very close to where La Fortune is located. So I'm sure, you know, some of his heartstrings might be pulling to that direction, but neutral.
Or pulling away from it
Very
because
possible.
they're rivals. This one is powered through the extra cover region. It's just they're going to get, should get 2 here. And they have gone back for the second run. This could have been close. Perhaps a more powerful return. 118 for 7 now. And as you were mentioning, your Manchester United team, their manager, Eric Ten Hag, was saying that they are optimistic because several quality players are interested in their team. Wow.
I would really love to see that come to fruition, I must say, because I think he also described Anthony as quality as well. And we have seen how that has gone this season thus far. So, Just have to take everything in stride with Manchester United.
Well,
Never a dull moment, at least, you know, always exciting.
Chance at a run out at the keeper's end, but I think the fielder slipped, the keeper slipped, and the batsman slipped in pretty easily in the end. Yeah, it certainly has been a terrible time for Manchester United fans. Casemiro has joined from Real Madrid. Christian Eriksen came in. Anthony, as you mentioned, coming in. Lisandro Martinez, the World Cup winner, and Tyrell Malacia has also come in. Netherlands forward. He was heavily linked to Manchester United, eventually went to Liverpool. Yeah.
Also,
Cody
Rafael
Gakpo,
Varane.
yes, Rafael Varane is also there. And here is Duncan to continue. Good delivery. That's just chipped over the infield. Just going to get one. There's a short extra cover and the wide long off in place. And don't forget the Qatari banker, Sheikh Jassim bin Hammam Al Thani. See if you can say that 5 times fast. And Sir Jim Radcliffe of the Ineos Group, both of them have put in bids for the Manchester United team.
Yeah, those bids are actually really coming down to the wire, because every time they think they're going to make a decision, one party tries to outbid the other. As we see Duncan again.
Slashed away, and that's there's a man out there. Good shot, but they couldn't, got away from the fielder, just one. And yeah, I was thinking about putting in a bid myself, but I don't think Manchester United would have been impressed with it.
I don't think you want all of that bad debt either, Vidya. We know that team, I mean, as much as they are popular in terms of their status, finances have not been doing well. As we see Duncan again, beauty.
Good delivery. Good delivery. Maybe a little bit slower. Rolled his fingers over that one. And former Defence Force man, known for his pace. And the scoring rate, by the way, as you've noticed here, has now dropped under 7.
Yeah, I think ideally I wanted them to reach the 8. But if they can just get to around 7 and maintain that, you know, try to reach that at 140 mark at the end of the innings. Runs on the board is always something to work with.
This should be 2. I don't like the running here, because the 2 batters out there, Dave Saran was just ambling up to the other end. Really should have shown a bit more urgency in getting around for 2. That ball barely got up the 30-meter circle.
And there we saw Ganesh actually look a bit disappointed, because I think when he passed Joe Saran, he signaled that he wanted to come back for 2. And when he reached down this end for 1, he just shook his head a bit. And in walking back to Joe Saran there, he was just doing his hands in a sort of motion to say, we need to hustle, we need to get things going, because as you rightfully said, Vidya, at this point in the innings, there's no way that could have only been a single. You know, you have to push for that 2. Just 2 overs left. And it would have really had to been a direct hit from there to get a run out, unless he was really slow.
The ball was just a meter outside of the 30-meter circle, and Dave Saran perhaps wanting to strike. If he doesn't, well, in fact, it is. He perhaps wanted Ganesh to take over the strike as the more accomplished of the 2 batters. Ganesh coming in at 8, Dave Saran at 9. Not much to choose there, but.
And the irony is that Dave Saran 4 from 3, Ganesh 11 from 22. Dave Saran has a better strike rate, so
yeah, he does. And, well, the stumps have lit up here, and that's not because he's been bowled, but there was an attempted stumping. And, yeah, that's pretty some money they've invested into those stumps.
Yes, the majority of the crowd, in fact, thought he was bowled there. Celebrations were already going up prematurely, but no wicket taken. And that one
well, that's high up into the air. This 6 runs by Ganesh.
Here, clearly from Dave Saran. And that one was a lovely shot. Comfortably over the boundary ropes. Fielder in place at that point. But no need for him to become involved, as that one sailed clear.
Yeah, that was a pretty good shot there. Ramlakhan roughly treated in his 3rd over.
Faster delivery there.
Yeah, he tries to play the Gordon Greenwich shot, and that one goes straight down. Don't think Gordon ever hit it in that direction playing that shot. Picks up 1. Reading something here that the LED stumps cost in the region of $40,000. That is quite a tidy amount. Well, that was a few years ago. This was for the, well, actually for the 2020 World Cup. I'm not sure if that's the same brand they're using here. Straight back to the bowler. Spectators catch. There were a few celebrations in the field, but straight into the ground there by Dave Saran.
Yeah, those stumps are really a good investment. I'm sure they'll be hoping that none of these fast bowlers break the stumps, because imagine having to repurchase one of those. That one is so...
well, you don't want bowlers smashing into those a bit too much. Well, he's almost taken out his batting partner there, Desaran, and they pick up one. Arshdeep Singh, in fact, the Indian fast bowler, broke 2 of them in one game the other day in the IPL. End of the over here, and with the last over beckoning, La Fortune are 130 for 7.
Yes, Arshdeep certainly has made a name for himself in the T20, the stumps breaker, and a lot of other nicknames they call him after he has a reputation for damaging the wickets and the timber. As we see a shot of the fans in the stand there, just mixing some drinks, having a nice time out here on a Friday night at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy.
And also, in case you were wondering if Khaleesi has gotten to Westeros, she is there. 130 for 7, last over to go. Yes, that was a Game of Thrones reference.
I didn't see any dragons outside though, Vidya.
They're out on the field.
I wonder. That's what I'm wondering. How did she reach here?
Yeah, they are out on the field. They are the Dragons of the La Fortune team. Very much a La Fortune supporter. So we're going to see, this is another over here.
From Bullet to complete the last
Keegan
over.
Jagisa is going to continue. That's, well, outside the Austin, there was some wit on offer there for Desaran. And he has really kept the batsman quiet by keeping it on the stumps.
Yes, and that one seems to be another strategy that some bowlers use in terms of keeping it just before the wide line. I mean, admittedly, it's something I think is a bit risky because once you stray, it's either wide or it's easy within the arc of the batsman. That one on the stumps.
Slow delivery, and there is going to be one. And Desaran again just ambling down to the other end, not interested in the second run, putting no pressure on the fielders. Now, if you're going to go wide, there is a backward point. There's a deep point in place here for the bowler. Also a deep mid-wicket for the bowler. This one is hit straight, and 1 bounce, 2 bounces to the fielder. Gets there quickly.
Yeah, just a single again. Haven't really seen much boundaries in the last few overs.
Yeah, they certainly have done well here. Great credit to the Rochard Road team to pull this scoring rate back. Edged, and that will go down to the third man region. There's a man out there. There he is coming into your picture. And just a 1 to the total here. Tidy job here in the last over by Jagisa.
Very good field placement there as well, because to have a third man on the boundary in the last over, you might think it's a risk, but I believe Bullet knows the line he's trying to bowl and anticipating those edges.
Oh, that's a good delivery. Oh, that could have been 5 runs there because that one shaved past the helmet. And they will get one. Let's see what the call is. It is byes. Sashayed down the wicket there, Ganesh, and didn't get any contact at all.
That looked very close to passing the helmet there, Vidya. I'm sure that the keeper would be relieved because they didn't ask the question.
Yeah, I think the La Fortune fans might be saying that helmet ducked out of the way.
Yes, indeed. As you see the last delivery coming up in the innings, 134. Can they get a 6 to finish to reach to that 140 mark, or even a 4 to reach to 138 and set them 139 to win? Let's see what Desaran does with this last delivery.
On the pad, they will get the leg by, and this has been an excellent comeback here for Rochard Road. They have restricted La Fortune to 135 for 7 in their 20 overs. They were going along at 8 runs and over, and tell you what, this is a brilliant performance from them. They have given themselves a very good chance of going on to win this game. All the same, though, La Fortune will say runs on the board. Runs on the board, 137 for it. Is this a winning total here for the La Fortune team?
Yeah, most definitely, Vidya. I think once you have runs on the board, anything can happen in this game. I mean, as we saw just recently in the T20 Intercal final with the secondary schools, that game which came down to the last over as well. You know, I believe the teams did not set the totals that they would have liked in the first innings, and then coming down to a very close matchup. So anything can happen in the shorter form of the game, and it will be very interesting to see how La Fortune fares when they come out to bowl against the Rochard Road batting lineup.
So Rochard Road will attempt to chase down 138 for victory. We'll take a break now, but the details of the innings: Javed Mohammed, the top scorer, with 27. Ganesh ended up on 19 not out, and with him Desaran on 7 not out. And for La Fortune, the top bowler Ramsarup 3 for 20. Will they be able to chase it down for victory? Join us in just about 8 minutes time for the run chase here as Rochard Road attempt to chase down La Fortune's total of 137 for 7.